My name is Abdur Raoof. I like to be called just Raoof. I'm a retired doctor. I was a medical consultant in occupational medicine, and my last job was with the Nottinghamshire County Council. I was the full-time occupational medical consultant for them. After retirement, I started working as an independent consultant for various organizations, mostly local authorities, even Nottinghamshire Police, fire brigades in Leicester, in Derby, police in Sheffield, a few other private occupational medical sort of organizations. And I continued working independently right up to 2014. Then the medical regulations of sort of re-registering and everything brought in examinations and things like that. And I think I was too old to get back into learning. And that's why I said, well, might please take my name off the medical register. So I'm not on the medical register, but I at least have the privilege of keeping the doctor in front of my name. Okay. I came to UK in 1967, January 67, and with my family. I had 3 young children with me, the youngest being about 2.5 months old. The intention was to become an eye specialist. I had done some house job in Pakistan in eyes, and that was my intention. But with the young family, part of the problem was that the hospitals were not very keen on giving the accommodation for the family. And the other problem was that the medical school that I came from was not recognized by the GMC at the time. And so I had to register for every little job. So I did my basic jobs, and then I did my local qualification to be on the register. So in the register, I'm qualified as 1969 rather than my original qualification, which was in 1958. And once I've done that, then I tried to go into the eye field. And again, as I said, the problem was accommodation. That I got into occupational medicine because I had worked in the salt mine in Pakistan and cement industry in Pakistan. And so there was an opportunity to get into occupational medicine here. So I started working for the coal mines, and I was posted in the north. And I worked for them for 7 years. And there wasn't, the mines were all closing down, and so you had to look for others. I even applied to the John Players here in Nottingham, but I wasn't successful. But then a job came in the Ministry of Defence, Royal Ordnance Factory, and they offered me a job, and that's how I landed in Nottingham. When I came in, it was in, I think, December. It was very dismal, dark day, and of course when I entered the area, and you know where the ordnance factory was, it was really as if I have come into some sort of a very, very old city. Everything dark. Even I think the meadows wasn't really very much developed, and I suddenly thought that, have I made the right decision in coming to Nottingham? But the job was good, and gradually I saw that everything started moving very forward. And since then, there has been tremendous change in that area. When I got the job here, accommodation was one of the main things that came to my mind. And at that time, I just got hold of a Nottingham directory and found there Pakistan Friends League. So I telephoned them. Mr. Tabassum answered. And I said, I don't have any contacts there. This is what my position is. Can you help? And he said, well, you come here and we'll see what we can do. And I came and I got sort of, they said, they were most hospitable person, he and his wife, and ultimately it turned out that his wife was also from Sialkot, my hometown in Pakistan, and they had 2 young children. So they, in a sense, gave me home, in a sense, and I stayed with them for the 2 months before I got the accommodation. What used to happen was that I would go back over the weekend, bring my wife, search around, go back, leave her, and then come back. Clifton Village was a very nice place. There were families there who welcomed us, and there was I had young children, and there were young children there as well. Our next door neighbor were sort of, they welcomed us because it was just before Christmas, and they provided sort of food and teas and everything there. So it was a lovely time. My wife very quickly got sort of introduced herself to the people there, and they used to have nice, what do you call them, coffee mornings with children getting together as well. But over the years, people grow up and that kind of thing is now not there. And I don't now see any children even in there. It's become more or less an old people's place now. Since retiring and coming off the medical register, I have been involved in voluntary work. I also worked for the Home Library Service as a driver, only short time, but the COVID sort of stopped that. I also work as a voluntary interpreter for the National Health Service, both at the City Hospital and the Queen's. And there was a Muslim-Jewish collaborative work called Salam Shalom Kitchen to provide food for needy people. It was based at, started about 7 years ago, and it was founded, I think, and the meeting was in the Bridge Center, and I was there right from the start, and I have been involved more or less every Wednesday in helping to prepare food, initially at the Bridge Center and now at the synagogue. If you go on Wednesday to Hyson Green and just stand outside the Bridge Center, you will see how many people come and how appreciative they are of the food and the materials that is provided to them. Just yesterday there were 160 food packets were given in there, and over 100 packages of mixed food stuff provided. I'm proud to be certainly at least a part of that sort of thing. Oh, really, there isn't one particular thing. I'm not a traveler, I'm not a sightseeing person. I come and sit down as long as I have reasonable things to do. I don't change. I don't like change. But my children got all education here and they were all happy there. And university was, at that time it was the Polytechnic next to the Clifton Village. So the environment, educational wise, was very good. Nottingham University as well. And I think in 77, and the Queen's Medical Center started in 77. And I knew the doctors, the occupational consultants there as well, all of those. So it is getting into all those sort of things helped me to sort of settle and find a very good environment.